Hello friends, welcome to channel 686. News. TV. If you haven't subscribed yet, press the subscribe button right now. The information is taken from open media sources. Today, I will share first news that I found on the internet. Take a comfortable seat, let's begin.
Hey guys, have you ever wondered how Trump turned Northeast Ohio into a Republican stronghold and why it's crucial for America? Let me break it down for you. 7 northeastern counties have transformed Ohio from a swing state into a Republican fortress. Fueled by the concerns of blue-collar workers, voters are shifting from Democrats to Republicans. In Youngstown, Ohio, back in the early 1990s, Tom McCabe dove headfirst into Republican politics. He recalls being tasked by Ohio Republican Party officials to secure 36% of the votes in the state. In Mahoning County, which includes Youngstown, that was enough for Republican candidates to win statewide. Fast forward to today, and McCabe doesn't need to worry about hitting such a low target. In recent statewide elections, Republican candidates have swept Mahoning County. In the 2020 presidential race, Donald Trump secured just over 50% of the votes there. In 2022, Republican Senate candidate Jay DeWine garnered nearly 52%, while incumbent Republican Governor Mike DeWine received 65%. Similar trends can be seen in the results of elections in 6 neighboring counties in Northeast Ohio: Lake, Trumbull, Portage, Columbiana, Ashtabula, and Geauga. In Columbiana County, the Republican shift is gaining momentum. For the first time, the Republican Party holds all elected positions in the county, says County Party Chairman Dave Johnson. This includes lower-level positions such as recorder, engineer, coroner, sheriff, and court clerk. The political landscape in Northeast Ohio is changing, and it's essential to understand how these shifts impact the broader political landscape of America. Stay tuned for more updates on this fascinating political transformation. Check out these 7 counties in Northeast Ohio, located outside the more densely populated areas of Cleveland and Akron. They are home to over 1 million Ohioans, or just under 10% of the state's population. That's enough to help Ohio transition from one of the classic swing states in the country to a new stronghold for the Republican Party. In the foreseeable future, the Mahoning Valley will remain a Republican stronghold and, likely, will become even redder over time, says David Cohen, a political scientist from the University of Akron. There is no doubt that the driving force behind this political evolution was one man: Trump. According to officials, people wait for hours just to hear him speak when he visits the region, and party offices can barely keep Trump-branded signs in stock. From a demographic perspective, the Mahoning Valley couldn't be a more perfect stronghold for Trump's white working-class coalition. The area, made up of 7 counties, is whiter, older, less foreign-born, less educated, and has lower incomes and housing costs than Ohio and the country as a whole. The shift in the region reflects trends happening across the United States, where Republicans are increasingly representing poorer white working regions with fewer college-educated voters, says Cohen. He notes that Trump's rhetoric, including his tough stance on immigration, has resonated in these areas. Allison Twicker grew up in the Mahoning Valley, and although she supported Republicans, she wasn't fully charged up until Trump burst onto the scene in 2016. "You could see the energy in him," she says. "You could see the impulse, and I wanted to support him." Today, she is a member of the Ohio State Republican Central Committee. Decades of deindustrialization in the Mahoning Valley have created problems for the incumbent Democrats in the region, as well as opened up opportunities for Republicans, says Bill Binning, a political scientist from Youngstown State University and a former Republican Party official. Ohio suffered losses in manufacturing, and Trump campaigned against globalism and against adding the new Pacific Trade Agreement in 2016, says Matt Ditchie, a former Republican Party official in Mahoning County. These positions made him very popular here. In the shadow of deindustrialization, Trump rallies also give a sense of community to many supporters, says Paul Schrakich, a political scientist from Youngstown and an adjunct scholar at the Hudson Institute, a right-leaning analytical center. Trump is not the only factor that has strengthened the Republicans' positions in this region. In a way, Democrats and Republicans across the country have exchanged electoral districts in the era of Trump. Wealthy suburban Republicans have become more Democratic, while Democrats from the blue-collar class have turned into Republicans. On a national level, Democrats are increasingly focusing on issues vital to their new base of highly educated voters, including openness to free trade and efforts to tighten gun restrictions. As a result, old-school Democratic candidates are finding it harder to compete successfully in places like the Mahoning Valley. Any Democrat who wants to win in the Mahoning Valley must work hard to differentiate themselves from the National Party, says Mark Weaver, a lawyer and longtime observer of Ohio Republican politics. Since this political realignment began, the cycle has become self-perpetuating. Republicans now have a stronger bench of experienced candidates ready to run statewide, as well as a more effective party organization than the Democrats, says Paul Beck, a political scientist at Ohio State University. This often leads to better funding for candidates, giving them a significant advantage on the ballot, Beck says. With one fundraiser, I can raise more than Democrats can raise in a whole year, says McCabe, chairman of the Mahoning County Republican Party. On the other hand, the Ohio Democratic Party continues to focus its efforts on mobilizing voters in urban and suburban communities, largely ignoring districts like in the Mahoning Valley, says Tom Sutton, a political scientist at Baldwin Wallace University. All right, buckle up, folks, because we've got some intense political showdowns happening in Ohio. Senator Sherrod Brown is gearing up for a tough re-election battle this year, and let me tell you, it's going to be one heck of a ride. Despite holding the position for 3 terms already, the odds are stacked against him. According to the pundits, the real drama kicks in after the Republican primary on March 19th, where we'll find out which GOP contender Brown will be facing off against. Will it be the Trump-backed car dealer Bernie Moreno, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRossi, or State Senator Matt Dolan? The suspense is killing me. Now, regardless of who clinches the Republican nomination, the general election will come down to whether Brown's long-standing support among the working class folks is enough to sway the union members back towards Trump's Republican Party. The Mahoning Valley region could very well be the battleground that decides Brown's fate. In the last race in 2018, Brown won 5 out of 7 counties in the region, outperforming any Democratic candidate in the state since the Trump era began. But here's the twist: Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan from Youngstown, who positioned himself as a Brown-esque candidate, failed to win a single one of the 7 Northeastern counties in his Senate bid in 2022, losing to Vance statewide. Ouch! If Brown has an ace up his sleeve, it's his unwavering support from the unions, whose influence may have waned in many areas but remains significant in the Mahoning Valley. Brown has been around for ages, and the unions have played a crucial role in that, says Shrasik, has one of them. In a joint interview with 6 union officials near Youngstown, each praised Brown as a steadfast champion for workers' rights, while they acknowledged that many union members had backed Trump in the 2016 presidential election. They remain confident that Brown has built up enough goodwill to once again come out on top in 2024. Observers are expecting Brown to outperform Ryan from 2 years ago, potentially winning several of the 7 counties. But unlike Ryan, Brown will be the face on the ballot when Trump is in the mix. The crossover voter between Trump and Brown is exactly what we could see, says Chris Anderson, chair of the Mahoning County Democratic Party. It's going to be a nail-biter, folks. Stay tuned for more updates on this epic political showdown in the Buckeye State.
If you found it interesting, like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Goodbye until we meet again.